The year is 1888, the heart of London. Picture, if you will, the bustling, crowded streets of Whitechapel, a labyrinth of narrow, gaslit alleys, the air thick with the smell of poverty and despair. Life here is hard, unforgiving. This is the backdrop for a series of crimes so horrific they will forever stain the pages of history. Whitechapel is a district teeming with life, but it is a life lived on the edge. Poverty and hardship are constant companions. Many people live in squalor, struggling to survive. Amidst this backdrop of despair, a darkness is growing. A killer stalks these streets. This is the story of Jack the Ripper, a name synonymous with terror and brutality. His victims, all women, are brutally murdered, their bodies left to be found in the cold, unforgiving darkness. The city holds its breath, gripped by fear. Who is this monster preying on the vulnerable? Imagine walking these streets, the echo of your footsteps the only sound. Gaslight flickers, casting long, dancing shadows. This is where Jack the Ripper chose to hunt. Hanbury Street, Bucks Row, Mitre Square. These names would become synonymous with fear and dread. Each location etched into the public consciousness as a grim reminder of the Ripper's reign of terror. The killings, spread over just a few short months, send shockwaves through Whitechapel and beyond. The police, overwhelmed and under pressure, face a cunning adversary. The Ripper seems to vanish into thin air after each gruesome act. The lack of progress only fuels the public's fear and frustration. Newspapers are filled with speculation and sensationalized accounts of the murders. Our story begins on a Friday, the 31st of August, 1888. The life of Mary Ann Nichols is tragically cut short, marking the beginning of the Ripper's reign of terror. Her body is discovered in the early hours of the morning on Bucks Row, a narrow street in Whitechapel. The brutality of the murder sends shockwaves through the community. Her throat is deeply slashed and her abdomen mutilated. The police, faced with such a gruesome crime, begin their investigation. They search for clues, any trace of the perpetrator. But the Ripper, cunning and elusive, leaves little behind. Just over a week later, on the 8th of September, 1888, tragedy strikes again. Annie Chapman, another woman living in Whitechapel's poverty, becomes the Ripper's second victim. Her body is discovered in the backyard of a tenement building on Hanbury Street. The killer's brutality is escalating. Like Mary Ann Nichols, her throat is cut, but the mutilations to her body are even more horrific. The precision of the cuts suggests a chilling familiarity with human anatomy. Fear grips the community tighter. The police, under immense pressure, increase patrols and question suspects. But the Ripper remains elusive, a phantom disappearing into the fog-choked alleyways.